What is up, guys? Delboy here. Today I am bringing you another episode of my Prospect Watch series where we talk about prospects from around the globe and we discuss their potential, their talent, and we speculate how far they can go in the professional ranks. And today we discuss the Nigerian heavyweight prospect, F.A. Ajagba. F.A. Ajagba is 24 years old. He took up boxing in 2011, I believe he was 17 at the time, and in a short space of time he was already having success in the amateurs. By 2014 he was selected for the Commonwealth Games representing Nigeria, and in those games he won the super heavyweight gold medal. And he did that in a space of 3 years, starting boxing in 2011 and then winning the Commonwealth in 2014. That's quite impressive. That was his most notable amateur achievement, but Ajagba was also selected for the Nigerian Olympic team in Rio 2016, but he didn't medal in the Olympics. About a year after the Olympics, on the 30th of July 2017, F.A. Ajagba turned pro, and he won his first fight by a first round knockout. And since his pro debut, he has amassed a record of 8-0, with 7 knockouts. It is also worth mentioning that the fight where Ajagba didn't get a knockout, it was because his opponent didn't give him the opportunity to do so. His opponent that night was a man called Curtis Harper, and basically as soon as the bell rang, Curtis Harper stepped over the ropes and walked out of the arena. That was in form of protest over pay apparently, but regardless it was a bizarre ending to that fight, and as a result it ruined Ajagba's perfect knockout ratio. So as mentioned before, his record reads 8-0 with 7 knockouts. Now I believe F.A. Ajagba has a lot of raw potential. He has the ingredients that you would like your heavyweight prospect to have. First and foremost, he's not small. He is listed as 6'5", so he's not on that Joshua, Wilder or Fury level, but he's still a big guy. But more importantly, Ajagba has a listed reach of 88 inches. Now that is crazy. That's a crazy reach. And, if he could utilise that, Ajagba could be a serious threat. So Ajagba does have some good physical stats. And not only that, he's a guy who keeps himself in shape. He carries good punching power, good natural athleticism. Ajagba has, like I said, he's got a lot of the raw ingredients you would want in your heavyweight prospect. And technically, I do believe Ajagba is coming on fairly nicely. Ajagba, being a guy with a long reach, his straight punches are the best. He's got a nice quick jab, and that jab is fairly powerful. You could see that jab doing some damage. It's not just a rangefinder, it's a real weapon, which I like. The long right hand behind it carries real power. And if that shot lands on the chin, chances are you're going to sleep. That right hand is delivered, technically very well. I like how he sometimes shortens it up, just kind of based on what distance he's at. I've also seen him use pretty good timing with that right hand as well. It's not like he just kind of swings it and hopes for the best. No, it's delivered well, technically very proficient, and he looks for his openings. He's not a wild swinger, he's a boxer puncher, and I believe Ajagba has the basics down fairly well. I also believe Ajagba's feet have got a bit better since he turned pro. When he turned over he was a bit flat-footed. He's still flat-footed now, but there's a bit more bounce in his step. He's a bit more fluid with his footwork, and maybe that is down to Ronnie Shields. Because as we know, Ronnie Shields has worked with a few movers, most notably Erislandy Lara, and it does look like Ronnie Shields has been working on Ajagba's feet, because I do believe his footwork has got better since he turned pro. He's not quite as flat-footed, he cuts off the ring a little bit better, and he just looks a bit quicker on his feet, which is good, and hopefully we continue to see that improve. So I believe Ajagba has the basics down fairly well, He delivers his jab in a good manner, good right hand behind it, decent feet. He's got the basics down well, and I would like to see him add on to that as he goes through the pro ranks. Now, there are a few things I would like to see from F.A. Ajagba. I mentioned that he has good technique on his jab and right hand, which he does. However, I would like to see him sort of set up these punches a bit better. And, one of the first things I would like to see is F.A. Ajagba feint a little bit more, because although he delivers his jab in a really good technical manner, it's not really disguised. It's just a pumping jab each time. And when you get a guy who's a bit more savvy, when you get a guy who can spot patterns and pick up on it, F.A. Ajagba right now could look a bit predictable. So I would like to see Ajagba set up his work a little bit better. Have a bit more variety in how he goes about his offense. So like I said, feinting, maybe changing levels with the jab, jab to the body, jab to the head, vary the types of jabs. So power jab, pouring jab, up jab, whatever it may be. Just variety. Keep these guys guessing, because right now, although Ajagba delivers his punches in a good technical manner, it's fairly rudimentary and basic. I'd like to see a better setup going forwards, and as he progresses, that's what I'm looking to see. I'm looking for more variety in Ajagba's offense, and I'm looking for him to disguise the setup a little bit better. Maybe like, for example, feint with a jab, lead with that right hand. Look at some Klitschko fights where he'll disguise his left hook very well, so it kind of looks like he's going to throw a jab, but he'll kind of turn it into a left hook. And a lot of opponents don't see these kind of shots coming, because there's not many fighters in the heavyweight division that have that kind of creativity when it comes to offense. So if Ajagba can incorporate those kind of skills and add a bit more variety to his work, I believe this man will be a serious problem, because he has all of the base ingredients you want in your heavyweight prospect. Like I said, he's still quite young, he hits hard, he's fairly big, long reach, good athletic ability. So at this point, he's learned the basics, and now it's about picking up experience, getting him rounds, and adding a few bells and whistles to his game. Now, I've mentioned his offense. In regards to his defense, listen, his defense is going to be keeping you at range, keeping you at arm's length, keeping you behind the jab. His distance control will be his primary source of defense, and that's fine. But he will need to tighten up on a few things. Nothing major, just basic things. So for example, if you look at when he jabs, sometimes he'll throw that jab, he'll bring that jab hand back, but he'll bring it back fairly low. And when it's low, then he'll put it back to his chin. What you need to be doing is jab, and that jab hand needs to be coming right back to the chin, and then keeping a tight guard. That's what a guy like Ajagba needs to do, because, like I said, his defense is going to be keeping range, and on top of that he needs a nice tight high guard, and he needs to keep a good shape and basically leave as fewer holes as possible in his defense. But yeah, in terms of Ajagba's potential, I believe there's a lot to work with. I really think he can go a long way. Even right now, if you take Ajagba right now, I believe he can beat some guys in the heavyweight division. To be quite honest, I believe he has the physical attributes to do so. I believe he has the power to do so, and like I said, right now I would pick him to beat some good guys, but it's going to be a case of matching him correctly. He's only had 8 fights, so he needs the right fights at the right time. Ajagba's next fight has been scheduled for March the 9th, and he is taking a bit of a step up. He is fighting Amir Mansour. Amir Mansour is getting on. I believe he's about 45 years old, and he has seen better days, but he's still a significant step up in regards to Ajagba's previous competition. So I think that's a step in the right direction. Amir Mansour, he will come to fight, he can punch, so Ajagba needs to be on his P's and Q's. It's going to be interesting to see Ajagba fight a guy who actually comes to win, because, like I said, although Mansour is past his best, he will come to win. So that's a good fight for Ajagba at this stage. And, providing he wins, which I expect he will, hopefully after that we can see gradual raises in the level of competition, and hopefully he gets the right fights at the right time. But all in all, I believe Ajagba is a very good prospect. I think he's coming on nicely. He's improved since his pro debut, and that is what I look for. I look for improvements, I look for progress, and I believe Ajagba is progressing nicely, and in my opinion, he is on my list of standout heavyweight prospects. You know, he's up there with guys like Hrgovic and people like that. But yeah, they are my thoughts on F8 Ajagba. Share yours below. Peace.